Hi, my name is Allison Sturgill, and I'll be talking about why it's important to keep the arts programs funded in schools. First and foremost, the arts are an amazing part of a school curriculum. Now, it's not required to take, obviously, but when you're in elementary school or even preschool, art is automatically a class you take. It's not an elective, and the reason for that is because it teaches kids how to use their gross motor skills. It helps them improve. By saying that, I mean it helps us hold a paintbrush, a crayon, to a pencil, to help us learn to write. So not only is it a fundamental skill that we need to learn to know in advanced curriculum classes, but it also helps express whatever creative outlet we need. I'm sure most of you have heard that people in the arts also do better academically, and that's because not only are you participating in a creative outlet, but that creative outlet has grade standards. I was in band for 7 years. I could not be in band if I got below a C. I could not be in band if I had below 3.0 GPA. And I wanted to be in band because that was my creative outlet. Otherwise, I didn't have one, and I was only focused on school, and I kind of lost my motivation. Thankfully, that never happened to me, because I was motivated to do the thing I loved by participating more in school, and then I found I enjoyed school. I enjoyed learning, and I enjoy, taking on new information, as well as most of the other kids who participate in art programs. Because not only do they get to do what they love, they get to expand their knowledge. Because of this, these students have a higher chance of earning awards and certificates in their name because they work towards it. And overall, it raises their GPA, their grades, and soon you know it, the top of the class is a trumpet player who, was in all honors classes or advanced classes or AP classes and so on. Of course, you don't need to be in the arts programs to be smart. It's just the arts definitely help. The arts programs are one of the first programs to be cut if a school is struggling with financial setbacks. This is because the arts programs don't bring in nearly as much money as they put out. For band, I had a registration fee, and that was the only fee I had. The registration fee included going to competitions, away competitions, bus rides, and that's about it, because I had my own instrument. Our concerts were free admission. No one had to pay to come see our concerts because it was the arts. No one pays to go to an art show. No one pays to go to a choir concert. And that's where the arts struggle with money, and that's where the arts struggle with staying funded. The arts are cut either from financial setbacks from the school, or if there's a new principal enrolled, or an academic advisor who doesn't think the arts is as important as your core classes. It's also cut if a principal sees that they're not being taught correctly. If kids are going into band class and not learning anything, and by the end they're performing this concert and they don't know how to play their instrument, the art program will be cut. Same with art students. If they go into a class and can't draw a circle and come out drawing a square, they'll cut the program because these kids aren't learning anything. Trump planned on cutting $148 million from the National Endowment of the Arts, the National Endowment of Humanities, and cutting funds to libraries, services, and museums as well. So not only are they limiting access for the arts and humanity programs to funds, he's also limiting museums and libraries on their access to funds as well. So it no longer affects students, it also affects college students, people who go to libraries, professors, because they won't have access to as many public library opportunities, as well as museums. Everybody goes to museums. I haven't met one person who hasn't been to a museum, and if museums are lacking funds, They will close down exhibits. They will lose, they will lose tourists. They will lose money. And soon, what are we left with? President Trump proposed this budget cut in hopes to improve Homeland Security. In my opinion, personally, I don't think increasing Homeland Security by cutting all of these art funds, it shouldn't need over $300 billion to do that. But because the arts are the first to be cut and they don't bring in as much money, it's a fact we have to face, and it's just something that happens. I interviewed one of my friends from high school who was in band for just as long as I was. She also played the trumpet, and she was one who strongly feels for the arts, and I asked her a few questions for an interview for the assignment, and what I got were the same answers I would have written if I were in any. The arts gave both of us access to a comfort zone and a place to go when we were nervous or sad or overwhelmed with the work of school. It was not only a creative outlet, it was an outlet in general to not feel so overwhelmed by schoolwork. It was what we did for fun and what we loved to do. And I know we are not the only two people who think that when you are in an art program. For a lot of people, I know the art studio is where they go to draw and to express and to just not think about anything else. And I think for a teenage student, it's really important for them, because a lot of us can get trapped with the stress of just home life and school life, and it just sits on your shoulders until you need somewhere to take it off. So for both of us, that was the band room. That's why I am so fond of the arts, and that's why I feel so strongly about why they should stay funded, because people need them. I know there are a lot of people who do sports in place of that. A lot of people are sporty. There are a lot of people who aren't sporty. I'm one of those people. I don't go on runs when I'm stressed. I play my trumpet when I'm stressed. And I know a lot of people who run also enjoy running to music. And people who are in the arts programs learn how to make music. They learn how to be architects, engineers. They all come from art programs. So if we get rid of the art programs, we're getting rid of our future, makers of America. We're getting rid of our entertainment. We're getting rid of our cinematography and, art performances and museums and libraries and authors. And I think it's important to keep them in public schools. I think it's important to keep them funded. Not just for the present, but for the future. So, thank you. And once again, sorry that I am outside. My house is kind of loud, so this is my workspace for the day. Also, I wore shoes. The end.